Hey, if you're a military officer getting ready to PCS to Monterey, California, then you need to check out this development because it could be a great place for you to live. Today, we're going to be talking about East Garrison, which is a housing development on the east side of Marina, a little bit farther inland than you would normally think. But with that being said, I think there are a ton of advantages of being in East Garrison, and that's why I want to bring it to your attention. So let's start with some of the pros of being in East Garrison. And the first pro is that it's a large development and there's a lot of sense of community. If you're a military family that wants to be around other military families, obviously base housing can be a great option, but East Garrison has a really large community of military members, and so you could immediately find that community. And the second pro of being in East Garrison is that they're larger units. I was literally touring an open house this past weekend for a Marine Corps officer moving to Monterey. It was a 3-bed, 3-bath townhome, just under 2,000 square feet, really around that 2,000 square feet mark, in the mid $700,000 range. And so for what you could get like a shack in Seaside or in Monterey, you really have the ability to get a lot of space, a beautiful new renovated home with nice amenities in that mid $700,000 range. And then the third pro, which is really real along the Monterey Peninsula, is there's going to be a lot more sunshine in East Garrison. I know we talked about it previously about my Marina video, but the microclimates along the Monterey Peninsula are a real thing. And towards the coast of Marina, you're going to have a lot of fog. But when you make that about 10-mile drive east into East Garrison, you're going to get a ton more sunshine. So if that's what you're looking for, even though you may be a little bit farther away from the coast, you're going to get a lot more sun. And then to top it all off, the fourth pro is that there are a ton of parks, a lot of fields, a lot of paths, and just activities to do in the area. It's a safe, quiet, beautiful neighborhood and a great place for families. Now, with all that being said, there are a couple things I want to bring to your attention if you are interested in living in East Garrison. And the first thing is that there are Mello-Roos. And a Mello-Roos is literally just an ad hoc California tax district that's used to fund an infrastructure project. And in the case of the growing East Garrison community, there are a lot of infrastructure projects that need to be funded. The first Mello-Roos is a Monterey Park Mello-Roos, so it's just paying for maintenance of all the parks, and that's a whopping $21 a year, so not a big deal. That assessment is used to finance the maintenance, improvement, and protection of the parks, trails, and open spaces within the district. However, there are a second and third Mello-Roos, which are a little bit more hefty. The second Mello-Roos is all about financing public infrastructure in the district. So this is going to include things like public road improvement, sewer systems, water system improvement, and then public open spaces. And this Mello-Roos was just over $1,100 this previous year. And then the third Mello-Roos is all about flooding and safety. So it's going to include things like funding drainage, stormwater, flood control systems, but also public safety services, including the fire department and the sheriff protection that will that will cover the East Garrison neighborhood. And that final Mello-Roos was just over $1,300 last year. And so in total, the Mello-Roos was over $3,000 per year, or just over $250 a month. Now again, those Mello-Roos will go and contribute towards things you are receiving while you are living in East Garrison. However, you need to be considering that when you are calculating your average monthly payment. And then the second con of being in East Garrison is you're just a little bit farther away from everything. Again, instead of being in that 10-minute range to NPS, if you're living in Marina or Seaside, you're starting to get into the 17 to 20 minutes without traffic, and then with a little bit of traffic in the morning, kind of that 25-minute range to get to the Naval Postgraduate School. And then on top of that, there's not a ton of retail in that immediate area. So in order to get to the closest grocery store or the closest Target, you're going to have to go to the dunes, and that's about 10 minutes away down into downtown Marina. But with all that being said, I do believe East Garrison can be an amazing living opportunity for a lot of military officers and their families coming to Monterey. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this development or anything in the Monterey Peninsula, please feel free to shoot me a message at my email or phone number below. I'd love to learn about you, your situation, and see how I can help. Thanks.